Okay, I went ahead and transferred the lines back in, and I noticed when I did do this, I ended up making that too big, so I need to go back in and darken that up to reshape that. I thought it needed to be bigger earlier, and obviously it didn't need to be. I'll take number 6, curved flat, and graphite. I'm going to go ahead and fill this back in. Now it's one of them things where you should have just left well enough alone. But that's how you fix a mistake. Okay, we'll let that dry. And while that's drying, I'm going to go ahead and take the number 12, curved flat, and some more graphite. And I am going to brush in this mane, like so. This doesn't have to be solid. We'll be coming back and detailing this out in a little bit. This is just getting underneath. This is kind of putting the shadows underneath the top, or underneath the hair, and then there'll be highlights on top of that. This is just getting the base work done. This here is part of his mane. I'm taking a little bit of zinc. I'm just still using this same brush, and I'm just kind of pulling out, because this is going to be more white later, but I'm kind of needing to build that color up just a little bit so it doesn't take so long. Yeah, that just kind of does that. And his hair kind of comes out and tucks back in, just like this. Well, he's starting to look more better. Well, while we're waiting for that, let's go ahead and do this bridle. I'm going to take the 0, well, let's see. We'll take the 4 Scarf Moon Filbert. And I'm just going to take black for right now, because if I try to do dark gray and then do shading and then highlighting, It'd be easier just to do everything in black, and then all I have to do is do the medium color and then highlight. Shading will already be there. When I get up to the edge, try to move a little slower so that hopefully I keep a straight line without it to keep growing. I usually have a bad habit of messing up, and then I got to try to straighten it up, and then next thing you know, things are bigger and wider than what they should have been. You can always use whatever size brushes that you feel comfortable with. I just like filberts, and I like scarfs. Brand. They usually hold up pretty good with a good chisel edge. And there's the flat, and then I can still use the edge to do close to the edges. Let's see. This one kind of comes up underneath the hair, comes down. There's a little flap right here. And I may want to switch to the 0 Noon filbert to get this one. Goes underneath the chin. Let's see. There's another little flap sticking out there. Go back to my Me 4 Moon filbert. This one's not going in quite as solid. A lot of little buckles and splits where the bit goes, and actually this is a little bit darker through here, a little bit darker over here. There's things here. Okay. This is a metal thing that comes down, but it has a shadow there. I'm going to go ahead and do that there, and then we'll fix it later. And then we have a little bit of leather here, leather here. I seem to make my straightest lines if I'm working on the left side of the object. I know it's tedious work, but it's got to be done. Or I suppose if you didn't want to have a bridle on this horse, you could always not put it on there. Just have a horse. I'm going to try to keep this the same width as possible. pretty much just kind of eyeball it. Keep my brush wet with the paint so that it flows off easier. Let's see, comes around. Not here where it comes together. I get this one. Sometimes it's the little details that make your painting great. I know all my paintings aren't great. I always find flaws in them all. Okay, now that we got that done,